Welcome back, everybody. Today's show is all about trying something new, and right now we have a new way to cook fish. A lot of the fancy restaurants do it this way, and you can do it at home too. It's a great way to save on fat and calories, and sometimes when you cook fish, you can overcook it and it gets dried out. This really helps with that. So one of our good friends, Chef Ken Hall, is going to show us how to cook fish in parchment paper.
Good morning, Amy. This particular recipe I love. I love the theme, do something different. Think outside the box. Try something you've never tried before. This is what I live for. You know me well enough by now that this is what I live for. I love to get people to try something they typically wouldn't try. So what I came up with for this particular segment was to go ahead and we're going to make ratatouille. We always have lots of zucchini and eggplant, and we've got herbs, and this is a nice way to combine all of that together. And then we're going to wrap fish in parchment paper, which is also called un papillot. But what we're going to start with is we're going to start with the ratatouille. So what I've got is I've got a large saute pan, really hot, and I've got 5 tablespoons of olive oil. And I know that you think that sounds like a lot of olive oil, but when you're sauteing your zucchini and your eggplant's kind of like a sponge, and it really likes to absorb a lot of that oil. So you want to make sure you have, one, a really good hot pan, and we throw in our zucchini and our eggplant first. We're going to let that cook just for about 15 seconds or so. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to throw in 1 medium onion diced up. Let this cook just for a second. To this, what we're going to do is we're going to add 1 red pepper diced up. And if you don't like red pepper, you can add green pepper. I like the red. I like that nice color in there. Now that the heat is distributed a little bit, we're going to add 2 cloves of chopped fresh garlic. And I like to smash it and then chop it first. It helps to release the oils a little bit. This is one you just want to toss together. And then I've got 1 tomato that I diced up here. And we're going to mix this all together. It's nice and colorful. And then to the ratatouille, the last thing we're going to add is a little bit of red wine vinegar. And we're going to add in just a couple of tablespoons in there, and we'll let this juice start to blend together and create our flavor. And then at the end, we'll stir in some fresh basil. You can use oregano if you want to, but I prefer the basil. And then we'll hit it with a little bit of salt and pepper. So what we'll do is we'll just turn this down to a low temperature. And we'll let this sit and cook, and then we'll turn back around over here to the cutting board. And what we've got here on the cutting board is we've got a fresh walleye fillet, and we've got parchment paper. So what I did was I sliced lemons, rings real thin. So our parchment paper, this is the size that you would get out of the roll at the store. I know a lot of people cut them in hearts and fold them that way. I decided to use it right out of the box, the way it is. So the first thing I want to do is I want to put just a little bit of olive oil on the inside. We're going to kind of rub this down there so that our fish doesn't stick. Then we're going to put it facing away from us, and we're going to take our fillet, which we cut in half. We took the bones out of it, and we cut it in half. We're going to take this, we're going to lay some lemons over the top. Very, very simple presentation. We're going to hit it with a little bit of salt and pepper, and it's as simple as that. You don't need anything else in here. If you wanted to, you could sprinkle some herbs in there. Do a little cilantro, you could do a little basil, you could do a little oregano. Now to fold this, what you want to do is you want to bring this end up, and you want to start on this end here, fold it over and hold your finger. And then you just want to keep doing that same motion. Hold your finger so it doesn't unroll. And you just keep going all the way around the fish, and you roll it over itself so it helps to seal. Now this is a very healthy way of cooking your fish. It cooks very quickly, it's very thin, and then when you get to the end, you have just this little end. I like to curve it under, kind of press it down. Now all you do is put this on a small aluminum tray or a baking sheet or a cookie sheet, and we'll throw this in the oven. This goes into the oven and it takes about 12 to 15 minutes depending on how thick your fish is. This walleye will cook up in about 10 to 12 minutes. So we'll put this into the oven. And when it comes out of the oven, it kind of puffs up a little bit because it keeps all of that steam on the inside. Now when we get ready to serve this, you'll watch as we go ahead and we rip this open and all the steam's going to come out. You get all that lovely steam. You can smell it. The smell is beautiful. Well, it creates its own sauce when it's in here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take this and we're going to slide it right onto our plate. We want all those lovely juices. This one looks like it's sticking just a little bit, not bad. We'll take this last one and cut in half. So we've got a nice little curl here. We'll put this back. Now we can kind of get rid of that herb that I put on there. Wipe down our rims a little bit, but you got all those nice juices from the fish that are there. Go back to the stove and we'll take our ratatouille. Now you can let this cook for a half an hour, sometimes longer. Grab a spoon. And what we're going to do is we're just going to take these lemons off to the side. And we're going to take some of our ratatouille. We're going to go right over the center like this. And then we're going to take some fresh basil. And we're going to put some fresh basil right on top. And then we're going to hit it just with a little bit of seasoning. Not much, just a little bit of seasoning there. And then we'll put our fresh lemon off to the side. And here you have it. There is baked fish in parchment paper with a summer garden ratatouille.
Wow, that looks absolutely fantastic. Thanks to our good friend Chef Ken Hall for sharing that recipe.